Welcome back to Legal Matters. हमारे पास बहुत सारे questions आ रहे थे, break के बाद भी आ रहे थे. We're still taking lots of emails. अब आपके questions के जवाब दे दें. अभी जो यास्मीन पेन का जो call आई थी, and she was asking about मैं यहाँ आई थी February 2013 में, तो वो ये कह रही थी अपने rules के बारे में पूछना चाह रही थी. तो क्या है उसके? So अगर आपको हम यही बताएंगे, अगर आपका पहले आपके जो rules है old rules, तो उस पे आपका होगा 2 years का, और अगर आप उसके बाद हैं, then the new rules जो हैं will be the 5 years. So the old rules will be 2 years and the new rules will be 5 years. Shahid, obviously, let's just talk about the Yasmin case. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Anything you would like to add on to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's been some confusion because a lot of people do fall under the old rules. So, like you said correctly, under the old rules, the position was that you had to wait for 2 years before you were eligible for ILR.
Yeah.
So in her case, she falls under the old rules, then she needs to only wait for 2 years. However, recently, I mean, the dates are quite close when the old rules were still applicable and the new rules. Under the new rules, it's 5 year, you get a 2.5 year visa, you have to apply for further extension, and at the end of your extension, after completing 5 years, you are eligible for ILR.
बिल्कुल. यास्मीन पेन आप समझ गए होंगे. तो आपका क्वेश्चंस के हमने जवाब दिए हैं, तो आप उसे केयरफुली देख लें तो आप कौन से पीरियड में फिट होती हैं. थैंक यू फॉर योर क्वेश्चन. और एक और कॉल आ रही है, हम शामिल कर लेते हैं. हेलो, वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम.
Yeah, I'm watching the program. I want to ask a question.
जी, आप अपना would you give us your name please? Can we have your name please?
Yeah, my name is Anila, and I have a question. My husband is going to apply for an ILR on the basis of 10 years in lawful residence. And I have 2 questions because one question is very important because I've been asking 2-3 programs, but they didn't clarify me. So I'm hopeful that you're going to clarify me.
Okay.
It is like in the form it doesn't say to present anything in detail less than your lawful residence proof. But my husband current status is he's on entrepreneur visa, and he has the leave remaining till August next year. But in between now he's due for his 10 years lawful residence. We are running at the moment a small business also. The thing I wanted to ask is, do we need to present any business document for that? Or we need to, because it doesn't say in the form, you just need to send your biometric card. I called someone and they said that, yeah, you need to present, but not detailed one, but you need to clarify your current circumstances. So can you please specifically tell me what I need to give them? Do they need any documents or like that?
Sure. Thank you, Anila. We got your question under the 10-year rule.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your call. Shukriya. जी, हम अभी questions के पहले जवाब देते हैं. Let's carry on with that. Shazad called it. Shazad भाई का जो call आई थी, he was talking about freedom of movement and under Article 8 and human rights amnesty. Obviously,
unfortunately, there's still a lot of people who are overstayers and they are looking for any discretion or any relaxation of the rules on part of the government. But as you know, the current political climate, the government is trying to clamp down on people, so it would be contradictory to their approach, So
and obviously, Article 8 and Article 9,
even they've tightened those.
They're very tightened, and they're going to now. The rules are going to be how the courts feel.
Strict definition of what the government deems to be
the government
the definition of article, not for the judges to define themselves, because that gave them a wider scope of trying to say, okay, the people do fall into the definition, but the government said, hang on a sec, you can't have that kind of uncertainty and leverage in terms of defining what it is and what. So they clamp down and tighten up the rules of Article 8.
And I think this is likely to get even more tightened up.
Yeah.
And with the present government, so we don't expect nothing to be watered down. And I think they are going to be applying it very strictly in that.
That's right.
And so it's got tests as sector issues. Obviously, it's not going to be easy under any kind of human rights amnesty. It's going to be difficult, and they're going to make it harder. Government का stanchiate और this tough करना, because उन्होंने देखा है तो लोगों ने यहाँ पे, the reason my colleague mentioned this was that the Article 8 or Article 9 जो ना is been heavily used और उनके every time Article 8 आता in any kind of scenario an Article 9, especially Article 8 human rights का जो है, and they feel this has been abused.
Yeah, right.
So that's a problem. Faisal Bhai की जो call आई थी, and he was talking about spouse European and basically 5 years का उन्होंने जो उनको मिल चुका है nationality के बारे में for permanent residency.
जी हाँ जी, इनको जब 5 साल हो गए थे, he was entitled to actually be eligible for ILR, but he should have actually tried to get his permanent residence sorted out.
शायद साहब एक कॉल ले लें, जल्दी से मैं ले लेता हूँ. अब carry on with the question. Hello.
Hello.
जी, welcome to the program. कौन कहाँ से? Hello. Hello. जी आप you're on air. आप अपना नाम बताएंगे, कौन कहाँ से?
मेरा नाम बाबल है.
बाबल, ठीक है.
मैनचेस्टर से बोल रहा हूँ.
जी जनाब, आप अपना क्वेश्चन बताएंगे?
सॉरी, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैंने की हुई शादी यूरोपियन लड़की से.
ओके.
जी, तो मैंने जब केस अप्लाई किया था तो मेरी शादी हुई थी जनवरी 2013 को, तो मेरा वीजा खत्म हुआ था 18 मार्च 2013 को.
ओके.
तो मैंने अपना केस भी उसी वक्त सबमिट किया था. उसके बाद मैंने इंटरव्यू कॉल की थी, तो मैंने इंटरव्यू दे के ऐसे लिवरपूल में. तो उन्होंने कुछ क्वेश्चन के बेसिस पे रिजेक्ट कर दिया था. तो अभी जो है वो मैं कोर्ट में गया था, लेकिन मेरी वाइफ की तबीयत थोड़ी सी खराब हो गई थी. मैंने कोर्ट से अपील भी ड्रॉप करा ली थी. अभी मैंने फिर एप्लीकेशन सबमिट की. अब वो थोड़ा सा मुझे पूछ रहा था कि वो क्या कर सकते हैं, आपको कुछ थोड़ा सा
क्या कर सकते हैं, फिर से कहें, एक्सप्लेन ना, ये फिर से बताएं. क्या वो चीज़ सही, आप ये फिर से जो अभी जो लास्ट आपने जुमला किया वो क्या था?
मैंने पूछा कि मैंने दोबारा सबमिट किया एप्लीकेशन ना.
या
तो आगे वो क्या एक्शन दोबारा ले सकते हैं, वो मुझे थोड़ा सा बता देंगे.
ओके. आप इंटरव्यू में जो आपको या ओके. अब इज योर वाइफ ओके? वो ठीक है आपकी वाइफ? शी इज ऑलराइट?
ये अभी तो फिलहाल ठीक है, मेरे साथ ही है.
एंड शी इज गोना बी हैप्पी टू गो विद यू टू द इंटरव्यू?
यस.
ओके देन, ठीक है. ऑलराइट बाबर भाई, थैंक यू फॉर योर कॉल. और कीप वाचिंग प्रोग्राम, जवाब देंगे. थैंक यू. Obviously हमारे पास बहुत सारे कॉल आ रही हैं, but we're going to carry on with the questions at a moment. थोड़ा सा जवाब दे दें पहले. फैसल का जो था, I think on a permanent residency he needs to apply. ये शायद सब आप बता रहे थे. फैसल भाई का EA3
he should have filled in, and that would have then given him permanent residence. And once you got permanent residence, then you can apply
for the nationality.
ILR.
ILR national people करते. But obviously फैसल भाई आपको जवाब मिल गया होगा. And हमने आपको पूरा explain कर दिया. Mr. Ajay called and he said that basically he's, over 10
Ajay
years.
has been here for a long period of time, since 2002, but what we don't know is that why his initial application after 10 years which he submitted was turned down. Obviously he refers to it that it was refused and it was
judicial review.
In judicial review, basically I think I mean, now we are just speculating, because obviously we don't have the facts of the case.
I think we need more facts on that one, and he probably needs इनको थोड़ा wait करना
what
पड़ेगा.
it is by looking at what limited information we have, that they took into consideration that one of the child was born here and he's 9 years, and as a 9-year-old child he obviously has roots to the country, and on that basis the whole family was granted discretionary leave. And if that is the case, then they need to wait until their 10 years are
completed.
अभी
थोड़ा wait करना पड़ेगा. I think that's what we're up to with Mr. Ajay. आप हमारा program देख रहे हैं, so I think you very much on that basis. Discretion leave, like my colleague mentioned, that आपको थोड़ा wait करना पड़ेगा before you complete your 10 years, and then you can probably
apply for
ILR can be considered. उसपे again we ask you, अगर आप हमें contact करना चाहें, we can help you on this case particular. Salma का जो call आई थी, and she said she's on an EA family visa, needs Pakistan जाना चाहती है. But again, this one हम views को बता चुके many times that you have to be very careful that आप stay ज़्यादा नहीं करें. Maximum 6 months होती है, but few months should be the adequate.
I mean, if you do stay on a longer period of time outside, and then you wish to apply for ILR, you have to disclose all the time periods then you're out of the country. You have to put it on the application, and then if it's a long period of time outside the country, they say, well, you living more time outside the country than in the UK, so then it casts doubt on that you're serious about having a life in UK. So
बिल्कुल
we would advise not to go to the maximum absolute limit and keep it between
2-3 months.
Yes,
बिल्कुल
सलमा
बैन अगर आप वॉच करें आपको पहले बता चुके हैं सारे व्यूज़ को बता दें मैक्सिमम नहीं जाएं बिकॉज आपका थोड़ा सा उसमें टाइम इनमें फिर लेट हो जाता है and it can cause problem maximum do for 2-3 months it should be okay. एक और कॉल आ रही है शामिल करते हैं और फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं. हेलो जी वालेकुम वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम. कौन कहाँ से?
जी मैं लंदन से बात कर रहा हूँ जीशान.
ओके जीशान साहब थैंक यू फॉर योर कॉल. आप अपना सवाल बताएं.
मेरा सवाल ये है कि मेरी वाइफ का स्पाउस वीज़ा 14 अगस्त को
जी
वो एक्सपायर हो रहा है.
ओके
जी लेकिन वो लाइफ इन द यूके टेस्ट में वो फेल हो गई तो उनको अपडेट मिली है 15 अगस्त की.
ओके 15 की
वो 15 अगस्त को अप्लाई कर सकते हैं क्योंकि उनका एक्सपायर 14 को है.
ओके
कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं होगी?
ठीक है आपका सवाल हमारे पास आ गए. आप हमारा प्रोग्राम वॉच करें हम आपको जवाब देंगे प्रोग्राम में. थैंक यू वेरी मच ईशान भाई. ओके शुक्रिया थैंक यू. हेलो जी हमारे पास बहुत सारे कॉल हैं बट वी नीड टू गो थ्रू जवाब देना प्रोग्राम में. हम जो कॉल्स आई थी उनके हम दे रहे हैं. अनवर साहब का जो कॉल आई थी basically entrepreneurial का late उनका चली गई थी application to the solicitor actually sent a little late. Now again they have to normal procedures that your solicitor knows that they have to be sent 28 days before.
Yes.
Now
if you are cutting it too close as apparently they have in this case then it becomes a matter of judicial review when it's deemed to be served on Home Office and when they could decline it. Obviously
but there's a right of appeal has been taken away.
Yes.
There's no right of appeal.
There's no right of appeal. But
they have
said that they have submitted applications with Tier 1 tribunal.
Tier 1 tribunal, that's right, yeah. उस पे उन्होंने भेजा है through the solicitors. I think that the responsibility heavily relies on either himself or the solicitor. What time they provided the details. आपको अनवर साहब ये होएगा तो आप अपने solicitor से बात करें. There is possibility अगर वो आपका एक strong representation में लिख के technicality पे कर सकते हैं then they may consider it because otherwise it will be deemed out of time and it can be turned down and they're very strict on that. If you're not on time then आप late हो गए and that's the way it goes. So अगर आप चाहते हैं if you want to provide us any further information we'll be more than happy to help you. आप हमारे email पे हमें भेज सकते हैं. आपका शुक्रिया. सबा बहन का जो कॉल आई थी student comes to an end 2010 में but she wants to go on a general visa but problem is that there's no switching into that as a student. She can go into student होने के basis पे she can go into like tier 4 से tier 2 पे जा सकती हैं या tier 1 entrepreneurial जो है.
That's right.
Let's just talk about that for her Sabagi.
There is another category of FLRO so which is rules outside the general immigration. She could try it submitting reason why she should be granted but then the onus is on her to prove that reasons to
that's
stay
right
here
but the FLRO will be on for outside the normal remit. सब बैंक से यही कहेंगे that अगर आप watch करें program आप हमें ज़रा सा contact करें we'll be more than happy to help you but as a student as a tier 4 you can switch अगर आप उनकी criteria पे meet करती हैं and that's the most important thing. Yes we like to help you. You can switch to tier 2 or tier 1 from a tier 4 suburban but also you need to keep in mind ना आपका टाइम जो है ना ख़त्म हो रहा है. अगर आप वीज़ा आपका एक्सपायर हो गया then you become an overstayer. So जो भी आप करेंगे you have to do it within a time period and that's the most important thing. And आप हमसे contact करना चाहें we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you for your call. Ali साहब की जो call आई थी regarding he got through your discretion leave article 8 and he basically I think he needs to wait for get an update from his solicitors from the Home Office.
That's right, yeah, it is coming to almost a year now so they can request for a status update on his application.
So yeah basically Ali साहब अपना status update लेंगे अपने वकील को contact करके उनसे बात करके तो status update ले लें and should not be a problem for Mr. Ali. यासिर साहब की जो थी call वो कह रहे थे उनका basically applied ILR का करा था and he's got the ILR which has only been few months.
Yeah, he needs to wait for the full 12 months.
Exactly. So अगर 2-3 महीने हुए यासिर भाई तो आपको अभी 8 months 10 months wait करना पूरा साल complete करना है then you can go for the nationality. Usman Bhai, who called, again he's applied for indefinite leave to remain, and obviously he had a problem with his wife. The issue here is very serious one. This मैंने question इसलिए पूछा था अगर पुलिस इसमें involved है उस्मान भाई then और आपकी wife ने शिकायत कर दी and she has reported you to the Home Office, which you did say towards in the program, and she has done it. We don't know whether his visa is now being curtailed.
That's right, yeah, because he did say that he received a letter from the Home Office after the wife reported him that, you know, obviously there's some ongoing dispute.
Yes.
So we need to know what was written in the letter which he received.
बिल्कुल. So I think Usman bhai, you must got your answer. आप हमें इस तरह करें तो आप हमें contact करें and then we'll be more than happy to help you. अच्छा, Anila, she was saying about she got applied for indefinite leave to remain, and she's
husband is due.
Yeah, husband's due.
Lawful residence for 10 years.
10 years.
At the moment, he's on entrepreneur visa.
But they need to meet the criteria.
So there's an overlap, basically. You know, so he's not due for extension of his entrepreneur visa.
No.
But what they're saying is that prior to that visa, if you count the time that he has been here, added on he has exceeded the 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So they want to know what detailed documents they have to submit. Now, as a general rule, when you're applying for any kind of extension, especially under the long residence rule, submit as much information as you can going back over the full 10 years. Now, if you are running a business, which the lady said that they are, then when you were if you were to apply for extension under the entrepreneur visa, all the documents that you will be submitting under that application, you should also submit it under the 10-year rules.
Absolutely. I think clearly entrepreneurial the requirements in that very clearly, and it states जो आपकी जो information 10 years का, you have to provide all the details, और जो भी आपके correct information statements and what your legal position is in terms of what you do and where you live, वो आपको provide करना पड़ेगा, and that is very important. So Anila, thank you for your call. Babar की जो call आई थी basically about his wife couldn't get to the interview at the time, and he's
basically it's a question of credibility. Their stories didn't match, and that's why his spouse application was refused. He's obviously appealed it, never went to the appeal because of medical reasons. Now he's submitted another application. So because there is no pending appeal, you know, because the appeal he never attended, now he is liable to get detained, because if there is drastically different information which was missing from his initial application,
absolutely
they could say that we initially refused it, and there's no further grounds for us to
I think there is a possibility for Babar that he needs to go there with his evidence as to the reason why he couldn't make it, and he needs to put just second interview me and put
well, I mean, there is no second interview. He's just resubmitted the application.
Yeah, sorry, fresh application but his wife needs to be there if at all. But I don't think he's gonna be meeting it very
well. I mean, there's already an issue of credibility.
He's going to be a major problem. Baba bhai, agar aap watch karen, you need to contact us. Hum aapko pura isme help kar sakte hain. We can give you help. Zishan has talked about his spouse visa coming to an end in August the 14th. And but the language English test is going to be
you need to submit your application 28 days before. There is no ifs and buts about that.
I think clearly this one's a very straightforward. Zishan bhai, you're going to be
out of date.
It's made,
and then you can't make
no,
any in-country application.
This is the problem, and वो आपका वकील और या आपका जो legal advisor उसे बता देना था आपको that 28 days before you needed to make the application, and not on the last minute, not on today's date. I don't think that was going to be acceptable. ज़रा सा problem आपको आएगी इस पे. But we would like to help you. You can contact us. बहुत सारी कॉलें अभी भी आ रही हैं हमारे पास, but we've actually run out of time now. And आपसे ये views and सीखेंगे. आपके जितने questions आए ना, हम आपका सबका very thankful to you, and we're going to carry on explaining. हम मज़ीद आपको और information दे सकते हैं, मगर आप हमें email पे contact करें. There are some issues जहाँ पे जहाँ पे हम full आपको नहीं दे पाते हैं because of the time constraint. So keep that in mind, and also we try our level best to give as much information in the limited time. आप अपने questions short रखा करें हमेशा, and also आप जो sound है उसका थोड़ा सा देख लिया करें before you come on TV. तो आप television की आवाज़ कम है, और आप जहाँ reception जहाँ खड़े होकर बात करें वहाँ से अच्छी reception, poor reception नहीं हुई. And again कॉलें बहुत सारे अभी भी आ रही हैं which we can't take because run out time. आप हमारे ईमेल एड्रेस जो आया था स्क्रीन पे आप उससे ले लें, और टेलीफोन नंबर हमारे कंट्रोल रूम से ले लें, और इंशाल्लाह we'll be more than happy to help you. So once again thank you for watching Legal Matters कानूनी मशवरे, और इंशाल्लाह हम नेक्स्ट वीक फिर हम ऐसे कंटिन्यू करेंगे और आपको और भी जो रूल्स हैं उसके बारे में बताएंगे, and keep you up to date with the new changes in immigration and related to anything to do with the legal matters or law. So thank you for watching Legal Matters, and आइंदा के इजाज़त दें. शुक्रिया.